So, just recently, we had a interesting showcase by Marvelous where they showed us some of the games they'll be working on for the next probably 3 or 4 years. And 2 of those games that we saw were Story of Seasons titles. Yeah, it was a bit confusing for some people because they really didn't do too good of a job differentiating between them, but they announced 2 brand new Story of Seasons games. We have a mainline Story of Seasons game coming up, which they spent most of the time showing off with a interesting little, I guess, tech demo that seems to show it's using the same graphical engine as the Wonderful Life remake and Pioneers of Olivetown, and they showed a lot of different concept art. And in that concept art is probably the thing a lot of people are the most excited about, as it seems to show this may be either a remake or a return to Animal Parade or Tree of Tranquility, as the art that was shown showed the same protagonists from those 2 games, and it seems to be either a reworked setting of those games or a brand new one. Now, Marvelous has been very keen on remaking a lot of the old Story of Seasons games, whether they need to be remaked or not. I'm personally in the mindset that a lot of the older games can just be ported, but I am not going to turn down free remakes, no siree. If it is indeed a remake, it's interesting to see that we're going from a remake to another remake with the Wonderful Life remake dropping next month, and well, I guess, I'm going to assume Animal Parade. While I do prefer Tree of Tranquility, Animal Parade is the newer of the 2. So a potential remake of that one, or I guess a 3rd game in that little series thing, which would be just as interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing the characters return from Animal Parade, but if they're going to do like a new entry in a similar setting, I'm not going to be too mad about that either. But yeah, that's all we really got on the next mainline entry of Story of Seasons. It's going to be, by the looks of it, a return to the 2 Wii games, and possibly a remake, or it could be a brand new entry. I'm more leaning on it's probably going to be a remake, but I don't really know for sure. But let me know down in the comment section below what you think of that. Will it be a remake of those 2 games, or are you expecting a brand new one in that same vein? And the second Story of Seasons game announced is a multiplayer focused one. Yeah, in the trailer they were kind of weird and like mashing them together, so people thought the next Story of Seasons game was going to be a multiplayer focused game. But when the press release came out, they were very clear to mention they are 2 separate games, a new mainline entry and a new multiplayer-focused entry. And the multiplayer-focused one actually has my attention the most. They didn't really show off anything about it per se, but the idea of having an MMO-style Story of Seasons title would be very interesting, where I guess, you share... you live in the town with different of your friends that can play the game with you. Odds are it's probably not going to be like an MMO, but you can probably have a story or save file with multiple friends joining in on that. There's many different directions they can go with it. They can go with a pure MMO route where the world will just keep moving even if you're not there, but I doubt that would work with the social and romantic aspects of the game. So it's probably going to be a very Stardew Valley type multiplayer game if I were to place any bets on it, but we'll have to wait and see, probably in the next 2 years, as we saw no real gameplay or images of that, but they said it was in some pretty active development, so there is always that. Currently, neither of these Story of Seasons games have any definitive release windows or even systems. They were just announced and will come out when they come out. If I were to place bets, we'd probably see the next mainline Story of Seasons game maybe the end of this year if we're really lucky, but I'm thinking maybe middle of next year, with the multiplayer one being probably 2 years out. We'll have to wait and see on that in terms of hardware. I'm thinking the next Story of Seasons game will probably be on the Switch and PC. Anything else is up in the air. The multiplayer one, depending on when that releases, it may be outside of the Switch's lifespan, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's all the information we really got about the new Story of Seasons games. I was a bit concerned about what they were doing, but when I read up more about it and dug in, I'm a bit more optimistic and hopeful about them. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below, what do you all think of these 2 new Story of Seasons games that we will be getting? Are you interested in a remake, a new entry, or the multiplayer type game, not MMO? I need to stop saying that. And if you're new to my channel, finding me out for the first time through this video, hey, be sure to subscribe for future Story of Seasons, Rune Factory coverage, and different reviews and more. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching.